Right, okay then, issue 32. So, if you're wondering why I've kind of skipped the paint section of issue number 31, it's because my intention is to show you how to paint Chaos Space Marines using my custom scheme, which I don't want to actually risk applying to a character model to begin with, because quite frankly, that's going to be painful. So I'm getting straight onto this issue. And we'll see how things go. Now, it's another interesting paint issue in the sense that we have Reikland Flesh Shade, but we also have Orruk Flesh. Now, the reason I find that interesting is because this green is, well, it's a very green, and it's designed for, guess what? Orc flesh, basically, orc skin tones. So, although these two work together to create a great orc skin tone, we don't have orcs yet. So, I suspect that this actual issue does not tell you how to paint with this one. And because I'm probably not going to use this yet, I'm not going to be doing much of a paint tutorial with that colour to begin with. Right, let's have a look inside this issue, number 32. Let's start with the cover, okay? We have here clear battle between, I think, some kind of autarch of the Eldari. And here we have a Iron Warrior Warp Smith, basically a Chaos Space Marine whose job it is to make demon engines. You've got to read the Horus Heresy. Personally, I think it's just, even if you can't read the whole thing because there's a lot to do, read the first 6 books, and then it's not ideal, but you can kind of then jump pretty much to the Siege of Terror books. And the reason I say that is because if you want to know more about this thing here, learning about how the Iron Warriors conduct war might inspire you to paint an Iron Warriors Chaos Space Marine clan. The Iron Warriors are, well, very bitter. And their Primarch is, well, let's not beat around the bush here. He's a master tactician when it comes to siege warfare, but he is a terrible leader. He is simply disconnected completely from the people. He's a lot. The Primarch of the Iron Warriors is, quite frankly, like his father, the Emperor, pretty much written autistic. He's very neurodivergent. Anyway, it's worth looking into. I've just gone off on a weird one there over a cover, but I think the Iron Warriors deserve a little bit of respect in reading up, because they're almost kind of like the forgotten child in a lot of ways. But with the new Horus Heresy set coming out, Satyrine, the Iron Warriors and the Salamanders are coming into the forefront of the Horus Heresy. Basically finding out how this thing came into existence, how they went from Warsmiths to Warpsmiths, is worth it. Okay, other than that though, so yeah, the painting Reikland Flesh Shade, what they're actually doing with quite a bit of this is they're darkening the gold, which is a good use for Reikland Flesh Shade. It really keeps the gold colour, but flows into the recesses. It's quite a good one for brass colours. It can work pretty well on reds, but I think with this one, they used I forget the colour now. My brain's gone to sleep completely. Null oil, I think they used on the red, isn't it? Or was it Caribou Crimson? I can't even remember anymore. Okay, so it's the actual issue is about shading gold. It's about adding flesh shades to parts of the Tyranids, flesh shading skins So again, I'll do a little bit of a skin tutorial at some point, separate from my regular tutorials. Look at my camera there. Anyway, so there's quite a few good little things about how to use the flesh shade. What we don't have is how to use the Auroch flesh, which I suspected, and that's because it's not really a call for it yet. I mean, you could do some of your Eldari gems in the green to start getting a kind of different colour to the gemstones. You could use the flesh shade potentially on robes to go green robes, although personally bright green robes don't exactly work for the most part. So, you know, have a decide where you're going to put it depending on your colour scheme. Now, we have a little bit about the Long War, which is the basically what the traitor legions call pretty much everything from when the Horus Heresy ended up to the 41st millennium. I really like the fact that they've gone for Iron Warriors versus Imperial Fists here, because it would have been too easy for them to do Black Legion versus Ultramarines, you know, just to, and basically show you the same thing again. So I'm really pleased that they've actually shown the Imperial Fists. I love the Imperial Fists as a faction. And part of the reason I love the Imperial Fists is because of this fella here. This is Alexis Pollux, and he is a Horus Heresy model. In his kind of interesting combination, it's an Artificer armor, this, but when you look at it, it's got elements of Mark II, Mark III armor all built into it. It's got so many different armor mark combinations. I absolutely love him. He's known as the Crimson Fist, and you will learn as you go into 40k that the Crimson Fists are a chapter in the 41st millennium, and they're named in his honor, basically. So first and foremost, that's what Imperial Fist looks like in the 30th millennium during the Horus Heresy. That's what an Imperial Fist looks like in the 41st millennium. That's an Iron Warrior banner from the Horus Heresy. That's the Iron Warriors during the 41st millennium when they've been fully corrupted. It's just worth having a look. So there we go. It's just like the idea being that you've got to remember that these Chaos Space Marines used to believe what the Emperor was preaching. Well, preaching, when I say preaching, the secularist state that he intended. And how do I put this? The path towards corruption is just so interesting to read through. So the Long War, talking about the traitor legions. You can see some Black Legion down this side, Ultramarine down this side. You can see the stark difference between the traitors and the loyalists. Talks about the traitor legions, the cool Alpha Legion, the Masters of Deception. Again, the colour scheme of the Alpha Legion is just awesome, isn't it? That sort of emerald green. If you look at the Horus Heresy era, that is actually more of a blue that with a slight green hint to it. What else have we got here? Word Bearers, sorry. Which again, if I'm doing a Word Bearer Splinter faction, so that'll be a nice little experiment for me. But if you want to go Word Bearers, you've got an actual red paint to actually approach that with. Your red paint, Mephiston Red, layered with Carroburg Crimson, will create something close to a Word Bearer scheme. If you want to go Iron Warriors, you just get your Lead Belcher Silver. If you want to go Night Lords, do yourself a favour. The Night Lords are well and truly amazing with their Warp Talons and Raptors and their Strike Specialist. But don't read about the Night Lords before you go to bed, because quite frankly you will you shouldn't be able to sleep after that. No, and if you can sleep after that, you should collect the Night Lords. There's no other way to put it. I won't show you my Night Lords, but I do actually have some Night Lords from the Horus Heresy. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. Bit of a read about Bonds of Honor and some Corsairs, which sounds quite cool. And then we're talking about the shooting phase. I need to get my games going. I need to just do some and record some. I'm 30 issues in and I've not actually done one of the games on a video. And it's going to reach a point where it's too difficult to catch up. Okay. There's a reason for it. I have an idea, but my ambition might outstrip my ability to actually create those videos. Anyway, so we've got some really nice stuff going on in this magazine, leading us soon to the beautiful Chaos Space Marines, which are coming up quite soon. As for the paint, I've already talked about them, but Flesh Shade is great for flesh, but also for golds, brasses, anything where you want to add a brown tint to things. The colour there really doesn't make sense. It's too pink to my mind. I get that it would kind of get that shadow there if you put it over flesh, but it's a very brown. The Auric Flesh Shade is a pretty good match, but even then you can see how pale the this sample is. So basically we'll hopefully be using that when we do orcs, and this one here, keep shaking my camera today, when we do some skin tones. Anyway, so there we go, that's issue number 32. Hope you found that useful, and I'm sorry that I kind of went off on weird little things and I can't stop shaking my camera today. It's because I've got handshakes going on again, unfortunately. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you for the next video.